we jump into game week 23, quick one guys, I was locked in on covering the AFCON, so I couldn't do full breakdowns for game week 21 and game week 22, but don't worry, because me, I've got you covered. I'm going to be throwing in the score lines up on the screen right now so you can catch up on what went down. And now that we're officially back to regular Matchday Madness Monday programming, I'd love for you to hit the subscribe button and get locked in with me, because me, I'm locked in with you guys again and again and again. So like, subscribe, share, and we still need to hit 1K subscribers before February is over, guys. I trust you can do it, because you did it for me at 8:22 right now, as you can see, so you can also do it for me. I won't keep. Now we are back, guys. Like I said, Matchday Madness Monday returns, and we are diving straight into how the Big Six got into game week 23 of the Premier League. And trust me, there was shocking results, and the title race is back. The tension of the title race is crazy, but we're going to be talking about everything. So the first match on our list today is the Burnley versus Spurs, and in a 2-2 draw at Tottenham Stadium. Now Spurs were seconds away from another disaster, but Romero said not today. Tottenham actually started really well. They took the lead in the 38th minute when Van de Ven scored after Burnley failed to clear a corner, giving Spurs the lead. But just before halftime, so Andembe got into the box because nobody was marking him, and he found the back of the net to level it, making it 1-1. Now we are back in the second half. Burnley shocked Spurs through Foster. He got a bit lucky after a little bit of scrambling with the ball here and there, but it still counts because it's a goal. Now Spurs are behind against a team that is in the relegation zone, because Burnley are 19th in the table. Meanwhile, Burnley could have sworn that they will be getting their first win in ages. Now Spurs are scared, they are panicked, they start pressing like crazy. They created chances, they had shots, crosses, but Burnley's goalkeeper made really big saves. There was even a time where Xavi Simons hit the bar. You won't believe what happened. Romero scored in the 90th minute a header, and he saved Spurs the embarrassment, and the game ended in a 2-2 draw. Now Spurs are winless in 5 league games, and they are sitting 14th on the table, while Burnley are still 19th, second to the last. But they were this close to getting their first win. If you've gotten to this point, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to like. Second match is Man City versus Wolves, ended in a 2-0 win for City. Man City finally remembered to win, how to win. This is their first win this year. After a very bad run, Pep Guardiola came back with a 2-0 victory over Wolves. Marmoush is back from the AFCON, and he led the line for City, and Haaland sat on the bench. He gave City the perfect start that they needed. He scored an early goal, and it was a cross from Matheus Nunes, and this is actually Marmoush's first goal for City, first league goal for City this season. Now City were in control for most part. They hit the post, they kept on pushing, and right before halftime, Semenyo curled in the ball, a very sweet low corner, low into the corner, to double the lead and to basically kill the game in the first half. It would be good to state that this is Semenyo's first league goal. Now Wolves tried so much, but City were able to manage the game, and they couldn't get anything out of it. Now this is a very big result for Manchester City, their first league win of 2026, and they stay second, 4 points behind Arsenal. They keep putting pressure on our league leaders, Arsenal. If you've gotten to this point, hit the subscribe button and like. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you feel like City are so close to going top of the table? Next match is Bournemouth versus Liverpool, ended in a 3-2 win for Bournemouth. You see, this particular match, I enjoyed this so much. It was chaotic, but it was very heartbreaking for Liverpool fans. Bournemouth went 2-0 up, all thanks to Evan Nelson and Jimenez. You make mistakes and you get punished for it. This is exactly what Bournemouth said to Liverpool's shaky defense. But just before halftime, Van Dijk was able to get one back to give Liverpool fans hope, to keep them hopeful. And we were back in the second half. Liverpool kept on pushing hard, and they were finally able to level it in the 80th minute through a very beautiful free kick from Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai no go score free kick. Are you joking? But just when it looks like Liverpool had escaped and they had gotten a draw at least, deep into stoppage time, Bournemouth sent in one last attack, and Adli ensured that he got the final kick of the game. Now Liverpool fans are heartbroken because this match ends in a 3-2 win for Bournemouth in Bournemouth's home. And good to mention that it also ended Liverpool's unbeaten run so far. Like, subscribe, share, and let me know, Liverpool fans, how did you feel about this particular match? Because I feel sad for you. I really want to know how you felt. Now moving on to Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. This match ended in a 1-3 loss for Palace. Chelsea handled this particular match really well, but for Palace, it kept on getting worse for them. Now, the breakthrough came when Estevao punished a very terrible back pass from Palace, and he calmly scored his second league goal for Chelsea. Now, early in the second half, he helped set up Joao Pedro to make it 2-0. Chelsea were in control for most part, and then we had Enzo Fernandez. He scored their third goal from a penalty. Palace finally found a way. They pulled back one, let's call it a consolation goal, from what's his name, Chris Richards, and it was too late, but at least they denied Chelsea a clean sheet. Now, to make matters worse, Adam Watkins was sent off in the 72nd minute of the match. They felt defeated, and Chelsea currently climbed to 4th place, and they have sort of building a momentum back to the top. And let's talk about Estevao in the comment section. Is he Chelsea's best youngster? Is he the best youngster to ever play for Chelsea? Let me know in the comment section, because me, I'm impressed by the young lad. Again, like, subscribe, share this video with Chelsea fans. They need to tell me what they think about Estevao. Now, moving on to the match that shocked every one of us. Arsenal, Manchester United. In the 2-3 loss for Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. The title race is shaking. Now, Arsenal went and scored first, but it was an own goal from Lisandro Martinez. But after that particular own goal, they just fell apart. Now, a poor pass from Zubimendi, and Brian Mbeumo ensured that he capitalized on it and he made it 1-1. Then early in the second half, Dogo smashed in a very beautiful, stunning strike off the bar to give United the lead. And they called for VAR to check the goal, saying that Dogo used his hand, but VAR said no, the goal is going to stand. A very beautiful goal, I must say. Now, Arsenal fought back, and Merino thought he had rescued 1 point for Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. But just 3 minutes later, Cunha curled in an absolute beauty from a distance, and Emirates went shocked. Now, United are 3-2 up, and it is good to mention that the 3 goals United scored came from their only 3 shots on target. Huge blow for Arsenal. They now are only 4 points ahead of 2nd place and 3rd place. And this is a great and a massive statement for United. Back-to-back wins, also back-to-back goals for Dogu, who now finally plays in his natural position. And the type of goals United have been scoring, or the type of goals they've scored in this match, insane. United fans, are you back or are you back? Every single United fan that kept on dragging Dogu, also known as Chinaze Ekpere, please, I really want to know how you feel about Dogu now in the comments. Now, moving on to other matches that played out, is Newcastle Aston Villa. This is a very big result because Villa won Newcastle at St. James Park. I'll talk about it briefly and then we'll look at the scoreline for other matches. Now, Buendia opened the scoring with a very brilliant strike from outside the box, and Newcastle never really recovered from that. They pushed, but it just couldn't break through. They just couldn't find the back of the net. Now, later on, Watkins, he sealed it with a header to make it 2-0 for them. Villa are now with 46 points. Like I said, they're also in the title race because they have the same point with Manchester City, but they're just a goal difference behind Manchester City, and they're 4 points behind league leaders Arsenal. Now, for other matches that are played out, West Ham beat Sunderland 3-1. This is surprising because Sunderland, although Sunderland in their home, they are terrorists in their home, but away, if you play really well, you can actually win them. But 3-1, I wasn't predicting that. So on West Ham's score sheet, we had Somerville, we had Bowen, and then we had Matheus Fernandes. While for Sunderland, the only goal of the match was scored by Brian Burberry. Every single time I talk about Sunderland, for some reason, I'm very sure you always hear me say Brian Burberry. Now, moving on to the next match that played out is Fulham versus Brighton. So Fulham won Brighton 2-1 in Fulham's home. On Fulham's score sheet, we have Nigeria's Samuel Chukwueze, scored in 72 minutes. And then Brighton scored first, Ayari, and then the game that won Fulham the match was scored by Harry Wilson in the 92nd minute of the match. You see Chukwueze, you see what he has done in Fulham. Please, I've moved on from the AFCON. Now, moving on is Brentford versus Nottingham Forest. Now, Brentford Forest ended in a 0-2 win for Forest, and Forest went away to play this match. On Forest caution, we have Igor Jesus. I think if he has not passed Haaland yet, or maybe 2 goals behind Haaland. And then the second goal was scored by Nigeria's very own Taiwo Awoniyi. The next match that is yet to be played, it will play today, is Everton Leeds by 9 p.m. today. Everton will be hosting Leeds. And I want to know your scoreline prediction. Who do you think wins this match? Everton Leeds. I think I'm giving it to you. Leeds are actually tough. I think a draw. A 2-2 draw. Everton Leeds. That's a wrap for match week 23 for the Big Six and the title chasers and also defenders getting punished for slipping up, and the title race getting heated. My name is Neme, bringing you match week reports. I'll see you next week for match week 24. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop your biggest shock of the match weekend in the comments. Mine was Arsenal losing to Manchester United at the Emirates Stadium. What was yours? See you next week. Ta-da.